Hey guys, Mike here, the Detroit Borg, with a look at the gold-colored iPhone 5S, or what we believe is the next generation iPhone. So this is debuting alongside the iPhone 5C, which is the plastic phone I've looked at previously. This, again, is just the back shell. This is not the entire phone, obviously. So this will give you a preview of exactly what we're getting. Now, the iPhone 5S is getting an update. It's not getting an all-new design, but it's also getting a new color, at least one new color, and that's this gold or champagne color. It's kind of a beige color, and you can also see that all the trim pieces, including the SIM tray, the buttons, everything is right here, and we're going to take a close look at this. The other thing here is that if you look at the glass trim piece up here, so this is the iPhone 5, this is the 5S. If you look really closely, you see that the camera cutout is the same, but the flash is different. So you can see we have this elongated flash, and that's because there is a dual flash with the iPhone 5S. You also have a different microphone, so that has also been modified. So instead of this sort of oval-shaped microphone, you now just have a circular one. Now, like the iPhone 5, you can see that the design is pretty familiar. It's actually the exact same dimensions, exact same design, thickness, etc., at least in terms of the body. So if you look down here, you got the same micro-drilled holes for the speaker and the microphone, as well as the cutouts for the screws and the lightning connector, as well as the headphone jack. Now what you see here missing right now are the metal trim pieces around those ports. I'm sure those will be added once the phone is fully assembled. So here you also have your cutout for the SIM tray. So if we pop in the SIM tray, you can see that really quick. So there you go. Of course, all color matched. Up top, same here, we have the sleep-wake button. So there you go, there is the sleep-wake button. Again, it has that same mirrored chamfered edge even on the buttons and the bezel of the phone. Now, along the side, you also find the cutouts for the volume controls. Again, identical to the iPhone 5, just color matched to this gold color. Now we also have our mute switch, again with that orange color indicating whether mute is activated or not. Again, you can see it sits right there, again, identical to the iPhone 5. Now, just like the existing iPhone 5, we have this mirrored chamfered edge, and it also carries these white glass trim pieces at the top and bottom. So the gold version will get the white glass trim pieces instead of the black, just like the silver version. Now, the interesting thing here is that the bezel is polished raw aluminum, so you do not have the color carried over to the bezel. At least with this part, this may change in the final production version, but it will be interesting to see what they actually decide to do here. Now, along the back, there is also a slight change. Again, just like the iPhone 5C, the font of the iPhone brand is a little thinner. So it matches, I guess, the iOS 7 aesthetic. So a thinner font both on the operating system as well as the back of the phone. Now, once again, we have our polished Apple logo toward the center. Again, it looks kind of silvery or raw aluminum on the gold version, just like the raw aluminum on the silver version. Now, if you look at the interior, you'll see that this is a single piece of aluminum that has been milled out. So the entire chassis is basically built into the shell of the phone. This makes it very lightweight, thin, and compact. This actually feels much lighter than the shell of the iPhone 5C, which has a plastic casing with the chassis components sort of glued on. So basically, this is a all-integrated solution. So you can see some of the parts here. This is the glass trim piece that's held on there. You can see down here we have all of those cutouts for the speaker grills, the lightning connector, as well as headphone jack and microphone. Along the side, you'll see the volume buttons here, as well as the mute switch. Up top, you'll find the sleep-wake button. Back here, you'll see the housing for the camera, LED flash, dual LED flash, and microphone. Now along this side, you'll find the SIM tray slot. So if we pop in our SIM tray, you can see right there. Again, of course, a nano SIM. So just to compare the 5C to the 5S, again, we have this plastic shell versus this unibody aluminum design with these glass trim pieces at the top and bottom. So if you look down here, you also see that we have that new iPhone font, that thinner iPhone font on both phones. Now the 5C is a little thicker than the 5 or 5S because of the thicker plastic shell along with these chassis components which are glued in. Versus the aluminum unibody design, which allows this to be thinner, so they're able to integrate a lot of the chassis components right into the casing of the phone. If you look side by side, it's a little thicker. It's kind of hard to measure in this video, but you can see it's a little thicker. You can also see it's a little longer and a little wider, just a little bit. So not a huge difference there. You can see the ports are a little different here. We have our cutouts for the speaker and microphone, so there's a fewer of them here. You have these micro drilled ports on the bottom of the 5S. You also have your lightning connector as well as the screws at either end. You have your headphone jack. You have your volume buttons, which will be here in the finished product. Right now they're empty. So if you look inside, you'll see those cutouts for them. These will be oval shape versus the round shape. You still have your mute switch up here. You have your sleep wake button also up here, which you can see if you look at the cutout here again is also pill shaped. And you also have your SIM tray here, which presumably will use the same nano SIM. Now, as you can see on the iPhone 5C, you have that black Apple logo versus that polished logo. You also see that our camera and flash situation is a bit different here. So we have our camera. We're not sure what the specs are at this point, neither for the 5S, but you can see the flash is different here. So we have a standard LED flash versus this dual LED flash, which will also be a dual color LED flash to change the flash color depending on your situation. You also have your microphones, which look identical to me. They're circular versus that sort of oval shape we saw with the 5. Now, the iPhone 5S and 5C will be officially announced on September 10th, so we'll know more then. Right now, it looks like we're getting 3 colors for the iPhone 5S, this champagne or gold color, plus the existing silver and slate colors. We may be getting a 4th color, the graphite color, which we've seen rumored recently, but we'll see if that comes to fruition. And of course, we get the iPhone 5C, which is available in 5 different colors: white, pink, yellow, blue, and green. Now, I have to give a shout out to Sonny Dixon, who hooked me up with the iPhone 5S part as well as the iPhone 5C part you saw in my previous video. So check him out in the description below. He posts a lot of photos and videos covering the latest leaks from the iPhone supply chain or Apple supply chain. So that's going to do for me in this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.